Assalamu alaikum. This is Imam Malik Mujahid, and you're watching Muslim Network TV. For this analysis, we have a person directly from Gaza who is right now there trying to get out. Mansour Shouman, welcome to Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Thank you, Imam.
Mansour Shouman is right now in Gaza occupied Palestine. He's a Canadian citizen with expertise in supply chain and procurement management. How are you doing today? Are you fasting?
Alhamdulillah. It's already night time, Alhamdulillah. So I've had my drink of water and my food. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for asking. I'm not looking forward to leaving. However, if there's an opportunity for my family to leave, then inshallah, and with a safe passage, then maybe yes, we can inshallah let them go. But for me, I have to stay here and try to help as much as I can in covering the story and getting the message out, and wherever I can to help cover some of the humanitarian crisis that is happening. Try to help in whatever ways we can. And this is what my focus is on currently.
So, are you able to do? Has anybody informed you? Has Canadian Embassy contacted you? What are the options for you and your family to leave?
The last time the Canadian Global Affairs contacted us was around 4 days back. They told us that there is no deal in place between the Israeli government and the Egyptian government for the Rafah border crossing to open, and that no one should go to the Rafah border until the deal is in place. Currently, there are tens of trucks of aid waiting at the Rafah border to come in, and dozens of families are staying at the Rafah border, waiting for the border to open.
It was said that Blinken, Secretary of Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken has gone to Egypt and different places. Nobody is listening to them, and now President Biden is going. Do you think it gives some hope that the border will be open for those people who like to leave Gaza?
I think long term, Israel wants the people of Gaza to leave Gaza to go to Sinai, and Israel to occupy Gaza Strip again. I think this is the long term plan. They want to do another 1948 refugee, where the 2 million Gazans leave the area for Israel to come and occupy it back again and to have the settlers live in it. This is what the people here think is going to happen. However, currently, Imam Mujahid, we are not seeing in any way any sort of ceasefire intent from the Israelis. Today was the worst day in terms of casualties since the start of the events 11 days ago. We have over 500 dead and over 6,000 injured just today alone. Here in the hospital where I'm at, covering the events, I've seen with my own eyes elderly, children, women casualties uh, every few minutes coming in. If you can hear, there's always the buzzing sound of drones above us, and regularly you would hear suicidal planes hitting buildings and the F-16 and F-35 in the air throwing their missiles with the ground shaking. Suicide planes. So there are small drones or planes that are guided by the Israeli Defense Forces, uh, where they want to target like an apartment or a smaller building. So instead of sending one of their bigger half-ton or one-ton missiles to take out a full building or a neighborhood, they would send like one of these small guided planes. We call them the suicidal planes.
So those drones directly hit the building and building goes down. Is that what you're describing?
Apartments or
500
smaller
civilians have
buildings,
died,
correct.
but report has also come out that about 80 Israelis who were taken prisoners have also died overnight. Are some of those people injured have come to the hospital where you are speaking with us?
I'm not aware about the 80 Israelis who were hurt. I'm aware there are some that were hurt. The last number that we heard that is being fought by Hamas is around 200, including 50 who are foreigners, so non-Israelis. Uh, if some are killed or hurt, they are being killed and hurt by the consistent bombing of Israel through the infrastructure. I don't know how, but uh, it's I don't have the details for that.
So the sound which we hear, is it the sound of drones?
Yes, these are spy drones. These constantly circle around different areas, tens of them all the time.
So this spy drones are there all day and night.
Yes. At night, the sound increases. It's part of the mental warfare, just to make sure that people stay alert and awake and afraid.
Hmm. So I was asking you a question that since this conflict began on October 7th, how many times, how many buildings you have moved? I mean, you're Canadian who are living in Gaza, and your wife is a Canadian from Palestinian heritage. How many times have you moved in last 10 days?
5 times.
5 times.
Yes.
And but you being a Palestinian, your wife being a Palestinian, since 1940s, how many times your family and your parents and your grandparents have moved?
So the two biggest migrations were in 1947, 1948, and 1967. Um, my wife's family moved a couple of times. My family, being from Jerusalem, thankfully did not move. They stayed in their houses.
So, does your wife know what town or village she was from and who lives there now?
The Israeli settlers live there. It's called Hamama. It's north of Gaza Strip, around 5 kilometers north.
So, where your wife used to be or her family is just 5 kilometers from Gaza?
Correct.
Hmm. And was she compensated by Israelis when they took away her land?
No, no, they were threatened either death or you know or leave. And many families were told that look, just leave for a few days, and once the war de-escalates, you will come back to your homes. Which and they're 70 years and they're still waiting to go back to their homes. That's why people do. A lots of people do not want to leave Gaza Strip, even if the Rafah border opens, even if temporarily, to Egypt, because they're afraid that there's going to be a third migration attempt to get people out of Palestine into Egypt, and then even if there's a ceasefire, they cannot go back to their homes in Gaza. So they don't want to be refugees for a third time.
So here we hear that lot of Palestinians are trying to leave Gaza, but you're saying majority of the Gazan Palestinians are not trying to leave.
So temporarily, a lots of people would like their families to leave, given that there is a lack of basic human needs available in Gaza. What I'm talking about is leaving permanently, like leaving without coming back. No, very few people are thinking in that way.
You mentioned that to preserve food, men are fasting, so children and women can be fed. What is the system like? For example, you are here, you're not from this area, and you have moved 5 times in last 10 days. Probably a whole lot of people have this similar story of moving 5 times in last 7 days. So how do you get when you break fast, how do you get your share of bread and food? And
So I'll be honest with you. Today I didn't fast. I was a little bit tired. I had to consistently drink some water and get some nutrition wherever I could find it. Uh, right now, I'm away from my family. I haven't seen my family in 72 hours. My family is in a safe place together with her family members. Um me and me working with the media on the Palestinian side uh, indirectly makes me a target. So I cannot be with my family during this time. The Israeli Defense Forces directly targets Palestinian media people, even if it's someone like me who's a civilian who's just trying to get the word out in English. So to be safe, I'm away from them right now. So I sleep here in the media area. I have like a small mattress with a small desk and an artificial light in front of me and an internet connection. And that's how we try to get our voices out. We also have tens of broadcasting stations here, and whenever they need someone to come in and help with English, I go out and help them out. Um, Alhamdulillah, with regards to the food, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides. Like, Allah provides. I don't know how, but we always have sustenance in some way or another. Not five-star delicacies, but alhamdulillah, people are content and they eat whatever is brought to them. And alhamdulillah, the Muslim ummah, there's always khair, يعني. Alhamdulillah.
this is Imam Malik Mujahid. I'm talking with Mansour Shouman, who is a Canadian citizen right now in Gaza. And since he speaks English, he is able to talk to people in different countries to share what is going on in Gaza. He told me that men are fasting, so preserve food for children and the family, and of course, for it to last longer. How much do you think almost every man is fasting, or some of them are fasting?
No, I don't think every all the men are fasting. Some are, but definitely there is less consumption of food and water in general amongst the population, given of the scarcity of the situation.
And while we're talking to him, you continue to see a buzz. It is not a buzz coming from internet, it's the buzz and the sound of drones. There are 4 or 5 types of drones are being used. Some of the drones just dive and hit the building and they're loaded with bombs and it explodes. Some of them goes around just spying. And Mansour at this moment is in a hospital, which is a makeshift place for the um, for media interviews and things like that. Uh, you mentioned that water situation is bad. Water was in short supply before, and it is Gaza is a seaport, so water people are getting from well. Is it a drinkable water?
It's the best we can get. It's not the purest form of drinking water. It is salty, but it's better than going without water.
Okay. So this hospital where you are right now still seems to have electricity. And we are seeing in the report by the United Nations that only few hours of fuel and electricity is left. So, what type of warning do you have in this hospital that how long the uh, electricity will be available to you?
Yes, I saw those reports. Right now, all the hospitals are working on electrical generators, and these electrical generators work via fuel. And fuel is running out fast from Gaza. given that there is no resupply for the fuel from the Egyptian borders or from the Israeli side. I think the next 48 hours will be very critical. Uh, I'm afraid what I've heard from the team here is 48 hours. Within 48 hours, if no more fuel comes in, those in the ICU, those need dialysis, those emergency wards, everyone will suffer because of that.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Mansour, for your time. We hope that electricity remains and some fuel is available for hospitals so life could be saved as well as your voice could also be reconnected. So, hopefully, we'll talk to you tomorrow again. Thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate it.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
This is Imam Malik Mujahid, and I have been talking with Mansour Shouman in Gaza, who has taken a refuge in hospital. His family has moved 5 times in the last 7 days. He hasn't seen his family for 3 days or so because he's just sleeping and talking from some media center in a hospital. Stay tuned for more information from Muslim Network TV. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.